there. Ask somebody to let you know that they can see you there.
I've seen it on here. Can you guys see me? Can you hear me clearly? Are we all good? Let me know. Hey, hello Jessica Porter. How are you doing today or tonight? Hey, thank you for letting me know that you can see and hear me. My mom is... Yeah, I see Larissa. I see her on there. Hey, eyes on me. Okay, I see you. What's up? Keep it going, guys. Yeah, I don't know where my mom's at. She's making her way in here. So hopefully, you know, she's one of those divas. You know, she's already got a little bit of, you know, fame, a couple of subscribers, so she's not really keen on being on time. So we'll talk to her about that. Manny Man, what's up? You see me? How y'all doing? Tammy Stanton, hello from Mobile, Alabama. Well, back at you from Atlanta, Georgia. Nice to see you. How you doing? We have got some stuff to talk about today, people.
Chairs, son?
No. Right side, left side.
I think we're playing musical chairs. It's a little delay.
No worries. Who we got on here? Deshaun Harrigan. Good evening, everyone, and God bless. Back at you, brother.
Deshaun.
How you doing?
Larissa. Hey.
I agree to that. I really do.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. This is our first time trying to do this, and I'm hoping that I send out the right information for people who are watching. Real quick, I want to go ahead and just give a shout out to a couple of people who became subscribers early on when I started this page or this channel. Let's give a shout out to Ramona Young, It's Me Paula D Vlogs, Mika Thompson, and I believe she pronounces it Ariel Stanley. So I wanted to get that out real quick. The reason that Josh and I are here today is we started something on my channel and I didn't know that it would get the type of response that it did. And we just wanted to come on here and clear up a couple of things that were said on the comments. One of the topics that I wanted to discuss was that a lot of people, or some people, not a lot of people, were commenting about the terminology. When I set up What the Hotel Won't Tell You, I really didn't set it up for Josh to come on and explain like the different things that each person does in the hotel. I just really wanted individuals to take a lesson from tragedy. Every time something negative happens, you're supposed to learn a lesson from it. And that's what I wanted to share with people, Josh's knowledge and my knowledge with dealing with the hotel, Joshua, or hotels. Joshua as a employee for a major hotel chain, and me as a person who has made reservations, checked in to numerous hotels.
Well, really quickly, if I could,
Sure.
to explain the situation, I caught a lot of flack. I caught a lot of flack the other day for not remembering the term night auditor. And all I have to say to that, people, is I may not necessarily know the term of the person who is making my burgers and fries at Burger King, but I know that it was good. And, you know, I know that it was fresh fries when it was cooked. So, I mean, I apologize for not having not saying the terminology at that period of time. But listen, you know, we're starting this fresh. We're starting new. Appreciate the support that we've gotten from everybody. I believe since we have started, Deshaun Harrigan, I don't know if I said that one, but Deshaun Harrigan, what's up to you guys? Appreciate it. And then I see Strawberry Rain. Hello to you. Thank y'all for tuning in. We do appreciate it, and we are gonna dive deep into these issues here soon. So.
Now, some of the things, like I said, I wanted to give you was the part about the night auditor. He does understand what the night auditor does because that's the individual who was over him and monitored what he did at the end of the night. The other point that I wanted to talk about was some people question if the hotels have staff that actually leave the hotel. And I'm thankful for the comments that we did receive on the page, confirming what I was saying, that I didn't come on and we didn't make a video that said every hotel. You have to be aware that there are some hotels where the staff leave. There have been hotels that we've checked in and no, they're not one-star hotels. But they even had a message on the wall letting you know that at 10 p.m. there would not be anybody at the front. Now, whether security was on the premises, I don't know. But I do know for a fact that if you went down there, there was no one there. I have been to booked, checked in to 2-star hotels, 3, 4, 5-star hotels. Now, honestly, I've never been to a 5-star hotel where it wasn't busy, like especially the one that we visited in.
That one was near LAX. It was a busy 5-star hotel, but I mean, here's my thing, and the biggest thing, the biggest thing that the message that I wanted to convey was that, one, if there's any hotel without security or without somebody there to monitor the guests, hundreds of guests, now we're talking about hundreds to thousands of guests who are staying over and sleeping the night, there should be people there monitoring what's going on. You know, what's going on in the hotel. And I believe videos have shown that, you know, early on into that night, management did come to the room because they were getting noise complaints and asked them to calm down because they were, you know, being a little bit too loud and too rowdy. But yeah, for the most part, you know, there are hotels, and believe me, I know this from personal experience. This is not something that I faked on my Indeed account. I have worked for hotels, and I'm going to tell you right now that there are a lot of dummy cameras, once again. So every camera that you see at a hotel is not necessarily a working camera. You feel what I'm saying? So
let me add something
go ahead,
to that. Let me say too, hi back at you, Madeline Flores. To answer what Strawberry Rain said, that the hotels look huge and fancy. I haven't seen a video with other people walking around, not even a custodian, no mop bucket, no nothing. And that's the problem that I have. When Joshua and I started the video that we did, I'm not familiar, I've heard of the Crown Plaza. I just have to be honest, I had never, checked in at a Crown Plaza. But once I went on, I believe it's Mike Larry 2010's page. He has, please go check his page out. He has a video up that actually shows the entire, floor plan of the hotel.
Yes.
And when I saw that, my mouth dropped open. I mean, I already had questions, but it really made it worse. How in the world, a hotel like that, did you not see staff? That part I got a problem with. Another thing that I noticed when I saw it on Mike's channel was that I saw the 2 security cameras that were posted in each corner by the reservation desk. And from my point, and then Joshua can respond to this, if you have a camera that's focused at the reservation desk, that's basically, to me, is for the employees that are working there who are receiving cash and credit cards when the guests are coming in.
Correct.
That's more so to protect the hotel from employees in that area than the actual people who are checking in. Am I incorrect?
What do you mean exactly?
You know, when they have the cameras, like if they had the cameras on the
Oh,
page.
yeah, good point. The cameras at the front desk, so you guys know, it's not necessarily pointed to the people who are coming in. What those cameras at the front desk in particular are for are just to make sure that employees of that particular hotel aren't stealing, because they are dealing with cash, they are dealing with credit card payments, and they don't want you to duplicate somebody's credit card or pocket cash. On to another thing that Deshaun has mentioned. Where is the video of Kenneka leaving out her room with friends and who was on the elevator? Here's what I want to bring up. One, we already know that there's still no video of Kenneka entering the freezer in the vacant part of the hotel. But 2, I have it written down here. CBS News had reported that the video that we saw, kind of put together, if you will, I don't want to say edited, but put together, it was of her roaming around by herself in the hotel for approximately an hour. If there are people on the premises of a hotel, how in the world is it, do they see an overly intoxicated person walking around the hotel and no one says nothing? Where were her friends at? Some of her friends' stories have kind of, I guess the family has said that it has kind of been changing stories. But once again, back to the question of the video of Kenneka leaving out of her room with friends and who was on the elevator. There has been video of a shadowy figure. I'm not going to say a person because at this point we still don't know, but it has been video of things that can't be explained. And honestly, I don't want to go too deep into it just because it can't be explained. We don't know.
Yeah, because sometimes when I look at those videos, I'm looking at maybe if people may have altered it. So I kind of tried to stay away from it. Maybe I'm wrong. But I want to go into a point that I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Candy said, don't take this the wrong way, but are you two activists? What is your initial goal? Again, I'm just asking. When I started my channel, I didn't know anything about Kenneka Jenkins, Candy. And so I didn't start my channel based on her and what happened to her. I started my channel for grown folks to come in and me to give topics that could help them, and that's the reason that I started it. Along the way, I did hear about the story on Kenneka, and I just wanted to express my feelings. And I decided to put it on my channel. My channel is very new. I'm not an activist. I don't want to be an activist. I'm a mom, I'm a grandmother. I just wanted to express my feelings and share. That basically was it. So there really was no other motive than just basically caring. Who else do we have here? Deshaun, you said it was a party, and I'm sure there were people in the hall outside the party room.
I agree. Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not huge on conspiracies, but at the same time, too many people in a hotel. Too many people going to smoke a cigarette outside the hotel. Too many people going to, oh, I left my bag in the car, I gotta go grab it. No one? Nothing? And I mean, the issue that I also take with, and this has been mentioned by Larissa, and let me watch my words carefully here because I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but the activist, Mr. Andrew Holmes, who was the first, or one of the first people to see the tape, said originally, or kind of, what's the word here that I'm trying to say? Kind of alluded to the fact that through video, she went into the freezer by herself, but now this hotel in question has already come out and said that there is no video. There is no video. Once again, the hotel has said there is no video of this young girl walking into a freezer. So then we have to ask ourselves, how many people would have known about this vacant area in the hotel?
This is something, and please, this is just my opinion, people. I've never been to the Crown Plaza. Let me stress that again. But I've always questioned this. If her friends or a friend, I keep hearing about, reading about, seeing about, worked at the Crown Plaza. My question has always been, if you're going to visit somebody where they work at, do you walk around? Do you go in places or areas that nobody else knows about? You know what I mean? You can't hang around at the front desk because you're working. You understand what I mean? So I always question if that's how she knew that area existed, because of being around her friend, if it's correct, worked there. I had a real good question that was up there. I do agree with you, Candy. I hope she does get justice. The one thing that I didn't like, and then Mario Brown, you brought it up, how long does it take to freeze a body? I have no idea. But that was my question when I commented on the video. My question was the lag in time from when the mother contacted 911, or even when she came to that hotel and said that her daughter was missing. I've always said, you can go back and look at my videos, I always said she didn't walk into that freezer and then when the door closed, she automatically dropped. She had been there for a while.
Let me try to go back up here and look at some of these comments, because who was it? Kiki Preston asked a question of why would she go into that area? My point exactly. We're talking about a vacant area in a hotel that generally, in a hotel that big, because it seems to be a pretty huge hotel, how would she have even known? You're telling me that a girl who, I'm going to assume this is her first time being there, or she hasn't been there a lot of times, she didn't work at that hotel. I know a friend did. A friend worked at that particular hotel. What would have driven, and let's assume that she was just intoxicated by alcohol. What would make a person that's intoxicated by alcohol roam around the hotel for an hour, and for whatever reason, she goes into a vacant kitchen in the bottom level of the hotel? That's hard for a lot of people to believe, in myself as well.
Here's the thing. When I saw somewhere, there's so much information out there, but I did see somewhere where I heard that her friends were outside of the hotel. They were about to leave, but someone left something in the room. And they went upstairs to go and retrieve it. And the story was, if you go back and listen to the mother's 911 call, it makes it seem like they all left Kenneka there. And I'm like, okay, that story, even the mom is like, when you're listening to them, everybody's story is sounding different. You don't know if they're telling the truth. But that part is something that to try to figure out. If that part is true and they all came downstairs to go home and someone left something upstairs in the room, the reason for them leaving her there, with us watching how she behaved in that hotel and staggered all around there, who would leave her there by herself outside to go upstairs? Like, why would all the girls have to go together to go back upstairs?
I'm going to be honest with you. One big thing that we're still looking at is toxicology report still hasn't come out, if I'm correct, right? Toxicology,
no,
we're still waiting on the toxicology report from the coroner. Let's take the video for face value, and if you look at the video, if we're taking it for face value and we're saying there's no editing, there's nothing going on. This is the video. Why does she look like that? I have been a bartender, so I think if anybody is qualified about the art of drunk people, if I could, I've seen them all. I've seen all different types of drunk people, and something didn't feel right about the way that girl was walking throughout the whole video. And also at the same time, it looked like she was talking to herself, which could be an influence of alcohol, but still, why is this girl? It doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. It doesn't smell right. It doesn't sound right.
You know, when you look at the video from the beginning, the first video that I saw disturbed me, and it, you know, so many people was like, she's being choked, she's being murdered in the room, and then the second video came out and she was in the room. Now, something that a lot of people brought up in comments that they left for us, Josh, was the fact that a manager knocked on the door of the hotel room, because obviously he got a complaint about the noise that was in the room. The kids were all loud, and somebody there kept saying, they're gonna come here, they're gonna knock on the door. And eventually that's what happened. What happened to that manager? Where's the video of that manager walking around in the hotel trying to figure out who is this girl that's, strolling around through the hotel? That's what I want to know.
Let me tell the viewers a little story. And hopefully this brings a little bit of insight into where the hotel stands on this. And this is what the people should know. It might not make them comfortable, but this is what the people should know. Once upon a time, I worked at a bar, right? This bar was near water. This bar was near a large body of water, and the water, what am I trying to say? There's a lot of people drinking on this lake, and they don't have cameras behind the bar that I was working at for the particular reason of, okay, if anything happens to this person, we want to make sure that the servers and the bartenders are not responsible, thus making sure that we're not responsible as well. And we still don't, have they really said whether there was people working that night? Did we get a time sheet or a clock out sheet? Or?
Well, of course, no hotel is going to tell you where the people were. But the problem is, all of the video footage that they show us, you see no staff. But I don't care about seeing the staff. Let's put my mom hat on right now, so I'm going to go back to the question that I've asked before. How did she, one, if she was outside and came back in the hotel, how did no one from the reservation desk see her? If she wasn't outside, how did she come to that floor? And because from the plan, like I said, that's on Mike Larry 2010's channel, he clearly shows where you have to go. If I'm correct, don't you have to go by the reservation desk? Like the areas that he showed, there were points or places in that hotel that basically they're saying were not staffed. Because if they were staffed, correct, then who approached her? Who in there said, do you need some help? There's no way you can walk by any staff the way that Kenneka walked through that hotel on that video footage and no one saw her. And it goes back to our point. We never said that like the mother received all of the video footage. We never said that there weren't the cameras in places that needed to, see what Kenneka was going. I asked from experience because I have gone down to the hotel lobbies of other hotels and there's no one there. So either somebody was there and they didn't care, or they were away from that desk and they have to explain why would they not? Where was security?
Well, just to, I saw
that hotel. They had security.
I see something from Latoya Plus 3 that asked, how come the camera was in complete focus at the front desk when the girls came to get their room, but the footage that they released to the public was completely out of focus? Great question. But once again, we don't know. We don't know, but it's an extremely great question. Why would the same camera from the same angle be from a completely different focus? And if it's from a completely different focus and they have a control room in that hotel, why was it put out of focus? Why was it? There's so many. I have never seen a story where so many unanswered questions lie.
Swagger 99 says, how did she walk all the way to the freezer by herself?
I can't see.
I don't know.
And we're saying she was drunk, right? How did a drunk person?
No, we're not saying that. They are trying to do, what they're trying to tell us is look at the video footage and you can see that she was inebriated. What I'm saying is I've seen people who have been drunk before, and me personally, I haven't seen that. But I've also questioned when if they're trying to say she walked to the freezer and she opened up the door, you telling me that cold air didn't hit her? Like, whoo, you know what I mean? You are in a freezer. How did you not feel that cold air hit you to know that's not the way to go? The change in the temperature from that room to that freezer when she opened that door, I don't know.
I don't know. Let's see what other questions we got.
They're gonna end up paying the mom,
and this will go unsolved. And you know what, Dallas Michael, you are absolutely correct. They're going to end up settling, this hotel is going to end up settling out. Honestly, I kind of feel like that was the reason for this guy. What's this activist's name? Andrew Holmes. Not to say that he did anything wrong, not to take any shots at him, but make no mistake, this hotel in particular, they didn't bring him along for no reason. They brought a community activist, a black community activist in the Chicago area to minimize the situation, to try to downplay it of sorts until police did their investigation or whatever. But I mean, yeah, I totally agree with you. I don't think we're going to see answers resolved or any sort of justice, and that's sad. That's sad for this young lady's family.
You know, Kiki Preston brought up the fact that the freezer was not on. If you go back, Kiki, and you look at you listen to the 911 call, and you will clearly hear where, I don't know if it was a police officer or if it was the fire department, when they located Kenneka's body, you could clearly hear him say, her body is frozen. If that freezer was not on, her body cannot be frozen. The only time that I heard that freezer was turned off was after they retrieved her body, and there was a 4-hour time frame that they would not allow the mother to see her daughter. And in that time, it was questions of were they trying to allow the body to thaw out. But definitely that freezer was on, because when they found her, you could clearly hear on the 911 tape, he says her body is frozen. Shay Green says, I heard the freezer was not on as well. I'm not sure why it would be if the section was closed. However, I do remember talk about ice and freezer and a frozen body. And see, that's the contradiction. They try to tell everybody, look, there's no reason for her to have been in that area because it was not occupied. They were renovating that area.
And once again, that's something I didn't even think about. Like you said,
but
why would they have a freezer going
on?
Why would they have a freezer going on?
See, you make it more scary by making that point, because then, you know, that's why
This is a vacant area of the hotel, people.
That's
why is it on?
Dallas of saying, you know, it's going to be an unsolved mystery because of the fact that, okay, you're right. If something is being renovated and there's nothing down there, why would you have a freezer plugged in? There's no, the only thing in the freezer was Kenneka's body.
And to another point, in the case of this, it does turn out to be a case of somehow she makes it down to the freezer and down there. Someone mentioned about her being drugged. I think she was drugged. No matter what the situation is, no matter what's happening, that person that we see in the video is obviously not sober. And I'm waiting for the toxicology reports to show exactly what it is in this girl's system. If you sit here and you tell me that, oh no, she was just drinking vodka all night, and I can't believe it. I can't see how. I can't see how.
The reason that we're here is, like, if you listen to this, you know, comment that Madeline Flores left, I believe it was the police officer, then they changed it to the firefighter, the fire department, and I too heard of that, Madeline. At first it was the police found her. Then it was the fire department found her. I don't know who found her, but I'm going back to the comment that was made. Who leaves a freezer on in an area that's being renovated? Just.
Okay, so Shay Green says I was a security officer. I can't see it, it's now cut off. Had lots of questions about, what questions did you have? I'm actually curious to see what that's about. It went too fast for me, so if you could, someone should have found her before she made it all the way down there. Yeah, I mean, once again, to reiterate the fact, I can't believe that, listen, it looked like there was about anywhere from 20 to 30 people in that hotel room. All of her friends, no one's gonna be like, hey, where's my girl Kenneka at? No.
Well,
no.
If we individuals who never met Kenneka can tell by that video that this girl, something was not right, you know, running into the stairway rail, about to flip over it. How could her friends not tell that? And I'm still back to the point, why was she left alone? Why did the group walk away from her knowing that she was that way? And then another thing that bothered me was when they said that the friends took the mother's car and her things and went to the mom's house with it. It's like, I just don't know if this will ever be solved, but like I said, the Dallas, I believe staff at the hotel and the people at the party worked in this together. I don't know, Dallas, and that's a question that hopefully, you know, will be clarified.
Shay Green says, I think the hotel is very liable. Yes, they are. They are so liable, it's not even funny. And I know the family probably doesn't want to hear this now because it doesn't bring anyone back, but let's make it clear, the hotel is liable if come to find out there weren't employees where they needed to be. I'll leave it at that. But also a question, didn't they say that it was hotel employees who found her, or
no,
who found her? Because she was thawed out.
They said that it was either police or it was firefighters.
I'm sorry.
So I don't know which one. I just know I heard the voice when he said her body is frozen. They tried to cover it up, Kiki says, by taking her mom's car. Oh, and phone to the mom's house. Again, you leave your friend by herself. Everybody can see this girl was not in the right frame to be able to walk by herself to go anywhere. And they all went collectively together back to the room to retrieve whatever it was. Came down, according to them, they couldn't find her, so they... Okay, let me ask this. I'm sorry, because somebody else said it. But so, can somebody please answer me? How did they get Kenneka's mom's keys to drive?
I'm assuming that Kenneka had her mom's keys, correct?
Okay, so again, They didn't know what Kenneka was, but they knew where Kenneka's cell phone, Kenneka's mom's keys, Kenneka's mom's car, but nobody knew what Kenneka was. Okay, I just thought about that. All right.
From her so-called best friend. I mean, I'm not gonna point any fingers just yet as to who it was that did what. But one thing I will tell you, an unrelated story.
That makes sense. Kiki Preston is saying no. They're saying she left it in the room, and so that's why they went. But it takes no, Josh. It don't take everybody, son. First of all, if you with your friends and you.
So hold on. Her friends never reported her missing though, correct?
To the mom.
Yeah.
That's another good question. Does anybody out there know if they couldn't find Kenneka, did they only tell the mom? Did they already tell the hotel? Because see what we're talking about.
From what these news sites are saying, from what multiple news sites are saying, it was the mother who went to the hotel first before contacting the police, went to the hotel first because that was the last place that she was seen at. And then when the hotel basically said, hey, we can't give you much information unless this person is on the missing persons report. So she goes to the police, takes hours for the missing persons to be in effect. Then they go back to the hotel, and then the hotel's like, oh they apparently coordinated with police and firefighters, and then they found her.
And Madeline says, I believe if you're returning the vehicle to the mom, you already know that your friend is not coming back to the vehicle. All right, Miss Madeline.
I didn't, Madeline Flores. Thank you for that.
All
because
right.
that's something I didn't even consider. If you think that this girl is, out and about or coming back, you're like, oh yeah, she just left. Like maybe she went for a walk. I mean.
And you know what? They also showed in the floor plan to the Crown Plaza that there was a door that you could go out of and towards the parking lot, and there was no security camera there that was facing that parking lot to be able to show us. Now I don't know if they have footage, but that would have been good to be able to show us when she came into the hotel. Where's the footage of her coming into the hotel and leaving the hotel? It's like selective footage has been given to everybody.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the tag right, but Quiddy182001 asked a question of how are they looking for her if she was roaming around the hotel for an hour,
Because they look too hard. Well, I can't say too hard.
And even if
you would think
if
you worked at the hotel, you would think if you worked at the hotel, you would know the layout of the hotel. You would know the places to go. But anyways, guys, the reason that we did do the video, pertaining to the hotel was just to try to get people to stop and question and think about things before they actually went to a hotel and tried to book a room. So to me, one of the lessons is to make sure that you're asking, is there security, on staff while I'm here for my safety? And also, is there full-time staff? What is the staff always on the premises, or what time do they leave? Like I said, some places they post when they leave and some don't. So you want to make sure. I believe that anybody in caliber intoxication would have just fell out. So I do believe that she was being directed, and that is that day that I came on one of my videos, and I was so upset. I was so upset to see the way that her arm was shaking. She was staggering. This girl could barely move.
Real quick.
And two, has anybody asked? Okay, so some people I see bring up the fact about, was she being directed? Who was she trying to find? Because it's obvious nobody was trying to find her. So who was Kenneka trying to find when she was going through there? She came down on the elevator.
Another thing, and honestly,
Courtney Gibson, I absolutely agree with you. I absolutely agree with you because I said that.
Those are drugs.
I have 4 kids, and
drugs.
and
Not drunk.
you know, at my age, I've seen people who are drunk. The tremors that I saw with her body, especially her arm, that didn't look like somebody who. And then on the video, the 911 call, her mother mentioned that the friend said that she only had a cup. One cup put her in that type of position to where she was wandering through the hotel hallways and bumping into walls and trying to prop her body up with her hand.
I believe it was also.
Look at Keith Corn says, question, do big hotels have a security room and to view?
Well, the thing about that is, from what we saw on the layout, the floor plan.
Well, from your experience, I'm sure.
Well, no. Yes, I wasn't even. The major chain that I work for is a big name, but the hotel in particular that I was working at wasn't even a big hotel. And from Wednesday to Sunday, we would have security overnight. We would have overnight security. And the reason for that, them not having it on Monday and Tuesday, was they assumed that, they didn't assume. It was normally slow on Mondays and Tuesdays. So all they would do was just have the night auditor, let me make sure I say that this time, they would have the night auditor just keep an eye out for people coming into the hotel and people going out of the hotel, any phone calls, anything, because my biggest thing is, of course you got to have somebody at that hotel to be able to deal with these issues, to see who's coming in, to see who's going out, to answer phone calls. If you get a phone call from a guest, they would like to speak to a real person. It's crazy.
There are 2 things that made a lot of people question this. One, the size of the woman who was going through the hotel that we were told was Kenneka. When I saw the still pictures, and I know, believe me, I do, video or cameras put on extra weight, but it was surprising to see the person, in the hotel looked a lot thicker than the pictures. Kenneka, I don't know why I keep saying Kenneka, in the still pictures that I've seen, she just was tiny. She just looked smaller. So that part surprised me.
Latoya Plus C asked another great question. Where's the firefighter that found the body, or the employee that supposedly found the body? Ain't heard nothing from neither of them. You won't, you won't, because this once again is information that we are hearing from 1, the hotel, and 2, the police. And at this point, I'm not going to blame anything on the police just yet. You see what I'm saying? Listen, the hotel is the people that have to do the most questions, that have to answer the most questions for me.
I'm going to leave it alone because I've already said on my video.
In this particular case, I feel like the hotel has more questions to answer than anyone. The hotel and the friends. The friends, how in the world was your friend roaming around a hotel for an hour and nobody said, hey, where's Kenneka? You see what I'm saying? The hotel, how is there not enough video evidence, or why do we get this 1-minute video, 2-minute video of a girl who was roaming around in the hotel for an hour? Where else did she go? You see what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Where else did the camera not get her when she was on this floor? Did they not get her when she went around this corner? How is that possible? We got a 2-minute video of what we saw. It was a young lady staggering and moving about. Come to find out, she was doing that for about an hour. So where else did she go?
But here's the point you brought up, and then I let it go. I still look at what happened when Kenneka's mother contacted the hotel and the police department. I believe both were too carefree about the fact this young girl was being reported missing. If she froze to death, then that means there was plenty of time in there at the point that the mother contacted them for them to go and do a thorough search. I believe that the amount of time that they wasted by not going and looking for her because of her age, you know, I'm always going to say it just would have, I think things would have turned out a lot different if they had, you know, gone in there and searched anybody. And again, we keep saying, you know, like the hotel, let's just call it what it is. Why didn't hotel security go look for her? That's their job. Not the person at the front desk, but security. Why didn't somebody from the front desk contact security and say, you know, the mom is saying she came here and no one is looking for her?
It all just sounds really janky. That's what it comes down to. It sounds really janky. And I mean, you really do have to feel for this young lady's mother, because her mother is just trying to fight for information. What happened to my daughter on that night? And as of now, she's not getting much. They can bring out all of the activists and organizers and whomever that they need, but it's still not going to. Maybe it does force these people to come out with answers. I hope. You know, I hope that it does. I'm not faithful.
Before we get out of here, I want to respond to Smack and Skits. They said security came up there all night until Kenneka went missing. Then he stopped coming up there. And that's true. If you came up there to check on the room, or you got a complaint about the noise in the room, you know, you were there. I don't know if it was the manager who came to the door, if it was the security of the hotel that came to the door, but you were there. But when it came time to say this girl is missing, no one's there. So you guys have a lot of questions on here that unfortunately we can't answer them all because we don't know. And I just wanted to come on and try to clarify some of the comments that were made on the video that we left. In no way are we on here to try to take advantage of the situation that happened with Kenneka, because, you know, our condolences do go out to her mom, family, and friends. I want it solved. I can't wait to hear the results of the toxicology report. And that's it. That's all I have, guys. Did you have anything else you want to clarify before we say goodnight?
Are we heading out of here? Yeah, I mean, I just want to reiterate the fact that
Strawberry Rain, you're right. We all want justice.
We all want justice, and the only way that justice comes if we demand justice. Everybody has to demand justice, and you know.
Thank you, Mark.
If you really have to ask yourself if this girl was you know, from suburban Boston or suburban Nashville, would they put more focus into it than, you know, a girl from Chicago? Who knows? But I'm not liking exactly what's going on. They're not telling the public much. There's so many varying stories.
It makes it hard, and that's another reason why after we do, you know, this, that I'm going to step away from it for a while, because I don't know if anybody up there has the answer, but I personally haven't seen or heard any updates from the family. So I don't know what's going on with that. And instead of just continually guessing, I'm going to step back and try to see what happens with this toxicology report. But again, as a mom, I'm telling you, please do not come back and say that that baby only had a cup of alcohol. And yes, I think it was Kiki, and I'm sorry if it wasn't you. Her mom did say that they don't handle alcohol that well. But come on now. That one cup, if that one cup would do that to you, She's the first person I've seen that one cup or two.
Pink Dolphin said, Mom, you're smart. I agree. My mom is smart. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I just wanted, like I said, to clarify things because some people left comments like, Josh didn't say the night auditor and Josh didn't say this. Josh didn't come on to give the job descriptions for the individuals who are working the hotel. All we wanted to do is take something from tragedy and say, listen, guys, a lot of you go into hotels and you check in. You don't ask any questions. You get that key and you go to your room. But for those who go to the room and then come back down at a certain time, sometimes you may not find the people that you think should be at that desk. And that was the purpose of it. Also, if you see cameras pointed out in the parking lot, take your valuables with you. There is a reason that they have that sign there telling you, look, we are not responsible for what you leave inside of your car. Because you looking at a camera thinking, like I did one time, oh, they got the camera, so it don't matter. My stuff is protected. If they do take it, no. And my son made a point to me working in the industry. He said, there's a reason, Mom, that they don't try to focus on those cameras out there.
They don't want to be held liable. Understand. These work plenty of jobs, from grocery stores to restaurants to hotels to sales. In particular, hotels, think about it. Hotels have people coming in and out. They don't necessarily know who these people are. They don't know these people's background. They're not really trying to be held liable for too much, That's pretty much all I can say. It's about liability. That's the reason for dummy cameras. Matter of fact, a quick tidbit before I leave.
Dolls, Fins, you said a camera or not, they are still responsible. When we're saying that, we're not talking about they're not responsible. Let's put on our.
They're trying to limit their liability, if that makes any sense.
Right.
Do I? Well, yeah.
And I don't even know. I thought maybe you taking it from the point if she's saying what you're saying. I thought she meant on the fact of, what's going on in the thing. If there's
I agree with you. I agree with Pink Dolphin. I think that they are 100%.
Pink dolls, I believe, not dolphins.
No, I think it was dolphins.
But she's a dolphin.
Pink Dolphin, see?
Oh, that's cute. See, I'm thinking pink dolphin.
Anyway.
I didn't catch that,
Yeah, but I agree with you. I agree with you. These companies are liable, but make no mistake, they are trying to find ways to not be held liable, and I have seen it done in the industries that I've been in. I've seen it done to where they do certain things and they set certain things up so that but we're not necessarily liable for this. So I mean. Do I think they're liable? Do I think that if this mother wanted to sue down the line, oh my God, I think it would be a quick settlement. But that's me. Anyway.
So anyways, and again, we're not attorneys and we don't know, so we need to make that known out there.
I am not an attorney, so you guys don't yell at me in the comment box.
We really enjoyed you checking us out live. This is our first live stream.
Yeah. Yeah, first one.
Got so much love on the page.
It's
we
crazy.
Want to tell you thank you. We know you guys have a lot of stuff that you need to do, and we're gonna let you go.
But before you do that, if any of you guys want to check out my YouTube page, it's still fairly new. I'm really just starting to get into this, but if you want to go into GOAT times 10, that's GOATX. 10. That's my YouTube, and that's also how you can get at me on Instagram and follow me. Okay?
And if you forget, his mama put it on her information.
Oh.
See, I was looking out for you. Thank you guys.
Love to
have
everyone.
a good night.
Really
you know what?
it.
For the first time doing this, you guys had some great questions. Great questions.
Hey,
so we're
Dallas Michael, thank you for subscribing now. Appreciate it. Everybody else follow suit, okay? Check out our other videos.
Y'all go check out my baby so we can stop. Good night. Good night. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Go turn out the lights so Mama can go to bed. Good night, grown folks. Thank y'all for checking us out.